Well, hello again there, boys and girls. Well, had a little bit of a change in programming. Basically, normally we would do the league race. We had a couple different issues as to getting that session up off the ground. I was under the impression that Lou was going to set everything up. Came home, got everything ready to go, and there's no league session available. So Mark's not able to make it anyway, due to Mark's work and the holidays and stuff. He's not able to make it, and he's the one running for a championship behind Jeff. So I got with some of the guys on the Discord, hopped in the voice chat, and we kind of sorted out what we might want to do. And what we'll do, since next week the late models are coming back to USA at night, we've got a little session set up. So basically what this is going to serve to is it's going to be a long practice where we really try to hone in and perfect these sets for next week, and then we'll actually have a race here at the end. And when we're ready, we can go ahead and advance the session. Once we feel like it. So that's where we're at right now. All right, but anyway, I hope you guys are having a good Friday. What we'll need to do first, after the 7 blows it, is we'll need to hop in here. What's our split here? 24 is our fast time here. Let me see. Let's go to the garage. Actually, no, we don't want to do that yet. Thank you. Done. We want to come over to info. First of all, first thing we're going to do is look at our track temps. 78 degrees. Track temp's a little bit hotter just because track cars are running on it right now. But 79 degrees. Like you see, our practice right here. And our qualify, and then our race, we just got 50 laps that we'll do. All right, but really I want to work more than anything on working these setups and getting all this stuff as it should be. So let's go up over to the garage. Now we should have a fair amount of setups here. Let's go to my setups, and let's see here. USA night, and we had a bunch of these. Let's go to the QA51. And I think this is what we had used to qualify, a while back. But basically, we got our fuel on 8 and all that. It's not really a straight qualifying set. We're at 50%. So let's take a look at our other setups here. And again, we just want to get a sense of what we've got kind of in the bank here. So let's just go straight to the Q. And this was a straight qualifying set, and it's sitting way higher on the right side than it is on the other set. And again, this one is set to go. This preload right here, though, we'll probably need to fix that. What's up, Scott? But everything else looks good for us. So let's go my setups again. And I think we've got a baseline, which is going to be this one. So let's go out. We'll run the base set and see where that feels like. But first of all, I want to share this. So I'm going to share this with everybody. All right, and we'll just be done here. Yeah, so what exactly is going to happen tonight? So what we're going to do is basically we're going to use this as a practice session, a test session, and get everybody ready for next week. So these cars are actually running at this track next week. So rather than cut people out and all that other stuff, those birds flying overhead, they are. Geese are landing. So rather than that, we're just going to use this. How do you join in? So, good question. If you go into hosted sessions, find ours, all right, you can just search for my name, which is Aaron Rogers, all right. The password to get in is Lakeland, all right, because this is Lakeland, Florida. So you can jump in there. Again, the practice session is super long, 2 hours and 30 minutes, so there's plenty of time for people to jump in. Plenty of time. All right, so let's hop in and practice here, but first let's kind of... Alright guys, I shared the base set that we used for the first short track season. So that is shared as the baseline. So I'll go out here and we'll do this. Yeah, absolutely, man. You gotta practice. As we warp forward. And all we're trying to do when we're doing these test sessions is kind of get a sense of what this car is feeling like and what it drives like. This thing's a little bit tight, honestly. Oh yeah, I remember this set now. It is loose as hell on entry. I remember this one.
Car stop down low. Go high.
Yeah, this thing is loose as all get out. I remember it now. I remember it well. Let me plug in this headset here before I lose everything. Bear with me one, guys, here. Bear with me one, guys, yeah. There we go.
Charging battery.
Yes, you are charging battery. So overall, the car feels pretty good. And we'll kind of go into the setup here a little bit once we kind of make some changes. Because what I want to do is I want to run this set. We want to run the set that we kind of doctored up and compare those two and really kind of get a better sense of what we're trying to accomplish here. Now, what we'll do is we'll probably dial a little bit of brake bias into the front of this car to try and stabilize it on entry, because this thing is loose. You cannot hard charge into these corners. And the thing is really loose on entry, and the thing is just a little bit tight. Yeah, you come in a groove up high, and it just wants to wreck. So like right there, we can't commit back to the gas because we're gonna run out wide, and that's just gonna get us in trouble here. But especially taking that wide arc into 1 or 3 and 4 here, just kills you. The car's just so loose on brakes. And you look at the brake bias, it is very, very rear brake heavy. I mean, 50%, that's low for this car. So let's try it at 53. That's probably gonna make things feel much better. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little tight off more than anything. But overall, I mean, the thing that we like about it is that it is very consistent. You know, the set itself, you know, once you get the hang of it, and you do have to get the hang of it, testing, yes, Brandon.
Outside. Stay low. Hold your line. Clear.
But I think overall it's running a consistent about 0.2 off, you know, our quick time there. So overall the set feels good. What do you want, Brandon? Huh? What do you want? So, seeing what we got there. Looks like Mark's quit. And let's see here. So if we go over to the garage. Now that was
low too.
That was
I'm on like 28 lap time.
yeah. League is a rip. This is hosted, my friend. Say Lou was going to set up sessions for it and didn't. And then I tried to do it, and then Mark said he couldn't make it, and it was just like, alright, well, what are we doing? So, we're just going to practice for next week. You know, so I got a hosted session up. So you're welcome to join in, buddy. But let's see. So let's go back to my setups. What I want to see is we'll go down here to this set's qualifying baseline. So this is the same set, alright, but set up for qualifying. Yeah, it's in hosted. You can do whatever you want, Brandon. So this one should have, what, 2 gallons of gas in it? Yeah, it's only got 2 gallons in it, so. And full tape. Well, we're going to blow that 21 flat mark out of the water, I'm telling you right now.
Slow car down low. Slow car down low. Go high.
Still a little bit tight coming up off the corner. Should be like an 8 or a 9.
Slow car down low. Car stop low. Go high.
All right, I
Go
forgot
high.
I don't have a spotter on. Let me go turn that on. That was dope.
Another 905. There we go. All right. So, again, the set, and we didn't nail it, and we could make a couple changes for temperature on this thing. So let's go back here. We're going to share this with everybody. Now let's go back to my setups, and what I want to run is I want to run our setup that we had, and we'll go into the kind of the setup and the base on this in a little bit, and we might make a couple changes because we did a couple things with this set that I know are kind of against what we're doing these days, if you will. So let's be done here. Go back to practice, and this thing should be set for race. So we actually ran faster in race trim with this setup than we did with the qualifying setup on the other. But this set, like I said, it's really kind of dialed into what we like, what I like.
Outside.
He's trying to let us by.
Not sure if I bumped you there, John, or not.
Sideways?
No, you're good, Craig. I'm on lap like 48 on the set, so I'm just a little squirrely, so I just wanted to, I just got a little loose on my own. It was all me.
What's the password? It is Lakeland. Let me do that. Let me change that so people can actually see that.
My skill level only goes so far.
Yeah, I hear you. That's why I was wondering if I hit you or not.
No, I just started iRacing like just this May, and I've just got into these late models. This is going to be like race 7.
Okay, so that'd be good.
Yeah, this is some
Getting in.
really
Yeah,
cool stuff.
Lakeland. Lakeland is your password.
Yeah, I really like the car. I just got to learn how to run it right.
All right, so let's go out. Well, first, before we do that, since this is working, let's take a look at this setup,
Check.
and I'll kind of describe the things that we've done to it to make it feel better to us, anyway. All right, there we go. Sorry. All right, so let's go to the garage here. Let you guys take a look here. So if you notice on Lou's base, he's got the left sides at 18. I've dropped down this left front to help it kind of like pivot more on that corner a little bit. Now, again, you get different kind of opinions on what that does. The other thing that we did is we bumped up this rear air pressure 1 pound. Whenever you're moving air pressures around, you're basically effectively changing the spring rate of that tire. All right, so the tighter or the stiffer your rear spring on the right rear is, the looser the car is going to be. Same thing with the left front. You're softening that thing up, it's going to stick. All right, and the rest of the cars going to want to come around. So the stagger does the same thing. So stagger is going to be the difference in the circumference between the right side tire and the left side tire. The more stagger you run, the looser it's going to be. Now, adding stagger in the front versus the rear will change the characteristics a little bit. Adding front stagger is definitely going to loosen it up a lot on entry and through the center. The rear stagger is going to be a lot more loose under the drive. So when you're getting back to the throttle, more towards like center exit. Now, if we come over to the chassis, the way and the principle that this thing's built on is this camber thrust, principle here, which is 150-pound springs in the front, so as soft a spring as we can get. All right, to really throw this car down. All right, what I'm looking for is camber gain. So it's kind of hard to explain without a visual aid here, but when a car's sitting, okay, think of it this way. If you've ever seen like a lowered race car or like a lowered street car, when they lower that car, the wheel starts to tip in at the top, all right, and that's camber. So the theory here is if we maximize our camber, okay, as the front end of the car collapses and it goes down, all right, the actual car itself, okay, when it goes down, it's gaining camber. All right, so while the static camber here, while we're sitting here on pit road, is -6, by the time we get into the corner, it's going to be deeper than that. All right, we're going to have more camber in it by the time we actually collapse the suspension. Now the rear is designed to just keep the ass end of the car propped up. That's all we're doing with it. So in terms of what we've got here, usually we just keep these rears totally stiffened out. So max bump, max rebound. This one's got a little bit of rebound taken out, and a little bit of rebound taken out, I believe mainly just to tighten the car up on entry a little bit. Okay. Now, the track bar heights and everything, we could play around with these and really get this car a little bit different. The truck arm mounts, basically in the rear, the more difference you have between the left side and the right side, the looser it's going to be on exit and the tighter it's going to be on entry. Raising the track bar up, period, so if we raise the left side and the right side together, it's just going to make the car looser. So a higher mount is looser. The bigger the difference between those two, so keeping like this side over here down low, that's maximum low. All right, that's as low as we can get it. This one is as high as we can get it. So we've got this thing kind of maximized as far as both of these mounts being on the bottom. If we wanted to go further with this, think of this as like your fine adjustment, and then this would be like a coarser adjustment on that. So if we raise this to the middle or the top, that's going to kind of exaggerate that even more. Now when you do that, it is going to play with other things, okay? But the other part of this is that we've got the nose weight, the ballast is all the way forward. And our bump stiffness, all right, how hard it is for the shocks to compress, is as easy as they come, 0. And our rebound stiffness, which is how hard it is for the shock to actually come back up, is maximized. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the front end of the car tied down, totally down, and wanting to stay down, all right, to kind of maximize the time we're in that camber, all right. That's what this whole setup is trying to maximize. We're trying to get all of this stuff to maximize this camber. All right, to get this thing feeling like we want it to, and getting the most turn we can. All right. Again, Lou and I differ on the tire pressure thing because Lou's position is you need to have a little bit higher pressure than what you would normally run for the camber to actually work. If the tire pressures are low, the tire isn't as stiff and it doesn't actually hold the car, you know, so that tire wants to kind of fold over rather than actually stick to the track if the tire pressures are too low. Now, he's done a lot more testing with this than I have, you know, but this is what he's shown me. But that's kind of the crux of what we're doing here. You know, typically most of these things are going to be almost identical at every track we're going to. What we're going to change is going to be the overall ride height, and typically we want the front end of this car lower than this one is. You know, but it's something we can play around with if we want to. And maybe we will. We'll have time to do it. So we may end up going back to Lou's setup. But I want to run a couple more laps with this, see how this feels, all right, over a little bit longer run. Overall, I mean, this setup, you know, if it wasn't for Lou, we would have won the short track championship here, you know, in the late models and everything. But yeah. So this is a very good set. I like this set a lot. But the big thing with this set, and especially Lou's baseline set, oh, mamma mia. Yeah, the thing with those sets is that it is very loose, very hard to control on entry. It is a tough,
I hear some
tough
crashing
set.
going on.
Yeah, a tough set to handle. Especially if you're not used to it, and that's why we had so many wrecks the first little short track season that we were doing. The setup, and these setups, again, I'm not sugarcoating it for you guys. These setups are top split winning setups. I mean, you can run in competition with the guys D1 champions. I mean those guys have God sets. I don't know where they get them or how they work them, but I mean, they are really, really tough to beat.
Car down low.
See, this thing is just too tight off. I mean, right now. I mean, the thing rolls the center pretty good, but the thing is just really tight off. Like, we need to be getting into the gas hard, like right here, and it's just, we're having to wait. So, in terms of making this setup a little quicker, I'm really not going to mess with this setup. What I want to do is I'd rather kind of walk you guys through what I'm doing when we're actually doing these setups to make them work for me.
Car down low. Go high.
But this set does last nice and long. It doesn't, you know, burn tires off. I mean, it's a solid setup. I mean, it really is. You know, if we take our time and really try to run consistent laps, it's pretty solid. But again, you can chase that kind of loose in through the center, and that's the tough part about this setup, is to get this thing fast. Like right there, we're skidding. Like those rear tires are not hooked up. We're kind of sliding it in through the center, and that's something that we need to work on. So like right there, it looks like we're hooked up, but we're not. Hitting the apron doesn't help anything though. Yeah, we all have to get used to the track again. We're so used to running New Smyrna, where it's just those wider corners. But this thing's really tight to run. USA is anyway. It is much, much tighter to run. Alright, so that's one set. So let's do this. Let's go back to the garage. Now let's go to my setups. We don't want to save this because we already have it saved. Let's go back to this one, the baseline. I hate New Smyrna, that's why I didn't run late. Come on, man. Alright, so 17s. 21s, 135. All right. Now he's got it set down here, and he's got this ride height way higher. The cross weight right here is much higher than what you'd see in a normal balance setup, 59.2. Now, the lower we make this number, the looser the car is going to feel. As Austin wrecks it, the looser the car is going to feel. The higher we take this number, so like 60, 61, 62, the tighter the car is going to feel. So we don't need to play around with anything. The one thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this is totally over. Left bar end clearance is 0. All right. Typically, I'd want to see this like just on the edge of like a negative number, I think. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, so as of right now, we can't get to a negative number, meaning we have a 0-inch clearance. All right, and what that means is the bar end clearance would be your sway bar. Think of it this way, the sway bar itself controls body roll. The more body roll we have, the looser the car is going to feel. All right, and the sway bar is in the front, and they call it truck arm preload. That's going to be kind of in the back. Okay. Again, a negative number means we don't have any pressure on it at all. A positive number means we have pressure on it. Until that sway bar actually makes contact, it's not doing anything. All right. So the car, if it's too loose on entry before it's, I mean, that's part of, you know, this number right here. It's part of this number right here. And that's something that we can keep an eye on. In terms of fine tuning that, it's something that we're working on, you know, but I can't tell you for sure. But I will say 50.8 is too little brake bias for me. 53.2 typically feels pretty good. What's up, Chris? We're just screwing around today. But so we're going to start there, okay? Now, in terms of what this set ran, we'll leave it like this for right now. Let's go out, get a feel for this thing again. All right, in terms of race set, 8 gallons, and see what this thing feels like. Put down some laps with it, see where it stands, and then kind of go from there.
Wheel car down low.
But the thing with doing setups and stuff is it takes a lot of time. And it's hard to put words on that. You know, as far as like how much time it takes to do these setups. You know, and actually spend time and get this thing driving the way you want. It's not going to be a situation like you hop into a fixed series and the car's just, you know, it is what it is. You can't make any changes or adjustments on it.
Go low, go low.
So that last one we ran was a 964. So it's about a tenth quicker than what we ran in this setup the first time. And a lot of that is just getting used to the track. You know, kind of learning USA all over again. And you can run it in about a groove up, but you really want to be on this yellow line. That's where your grip is. And later on in the run, you can really kind of work it to the outside and then kind of diamond back down in. But for all intents and purposes, here you want to be really right along that yellow line. We just want to put in some race pace laps to really kind of get this thing set and see where things stand. We don't want to push it too hard. We're not trying to hot lap it right now. We're trying to get, what the hell? There's a guy stuck in the tire barrier.
That is awesome.
Okay, so I did see it.
Yeah, we didn't see that wrong.
That must have been the most tremendous crash ever.
Ghost. He's still there?
I did the same thing my first night I raced in the Swig.
And really, this car's starting to kind of come to us here. No. He's giving it to us.
Clear.
Just want to run clean laps as Aaron knocks down the wall, getting into the corner. I was getting a little tail happy, a little bit tail happy. So,
Low car ahead.
kind of
Car stop ahead.
impressions here.
Low car ahead. Go high.
The car feels good. It feels a little springy. And USA is not the softest track. It's just not. We're having to try and be patient around that yellow line. And it's fine. I mean, we're not running bad laps here at all. When we get up off the bottom, though, this thing gets real unhappy.
Car's just loose in the middle and tight off.
Loose in the middle and tight off. What set do you have, Austin?
I'm using a modified version of the new Smyrna set.
Okay, I shared the USA baseline that we used here for the short track. If you want to try that,
Low car up high. Car stop up high. Go low.
you
go
will
low.
want to move the brake bias forward, though. 'Cause that thing is wrecking on entry at 15% brake bias.
So that's what that was. Yeah, I'm good center off, just halfway into the entry. I actually just
Low
into
car
it.
down low. Go high.
A lot of it is when you get down here, you can see it almost like starts to go downhill into the corners. And I don't know if you guys can pick that up visually, but it's kind of like Dover. You climb up out of the corner, and like right here, you guys dive down into it right there. And this car likes to really get loose right there, like right as you get in, before the car actually sits down. I like that Menard scheme. That's pretty tight.
Go low. Go
Oh!
low. Go low.
Sorry about that.
Jerry's killing everybody.
No problem, buddy.
And I guess the other thing you can kind of take from this is, keep in mind,
Alright, I'm done trying to qualify.
we threw, what, 3 different sets at it, you know, and they're all different in very kind of different ways, and they all run pretty similar times. I mean, it just goes to show you there's really a bunch of different ways to do this,
Oh, we blown up.
but nothing will help you more than just running laps in a car and getting comfortable with it, and knowing what the car wants to do and what it likes and what it doesn't like. But the other thing is just trying to run consistent lap times. You know, a lot of the guys that we see, you know, that run in the short track championship, especially that first season, you know, when we were here, it was just not running consistent lap times. You know, it's where you're running, you know, a 21 flat, and then you run the next lap at a 21.2, and then you run the next lap at a 21.05, you know, where you should be running, I mean, pretty similar lap times, within a tenth or so. If you're not, then something needs to change. Are you running the USA, the baseline that I put in the share?
Yes, sir.
Where's it loose on you? On entry, exit, where?
It's not loose, like exiting the turns and once the tight, like the front end allows to fall.
What is the, just as a side note, what is the brake bias set at on it?
I got
Keep the car
it.
down low. Go
I
high.
think we ran enough laps on this thing to get a sense of where we're at.
It's perfect to 1 and 3, but 2 and 4 is cloudy and fall.
Yeah, so it's just tight on exit.
Yes, sir.
There's a couple things you can do. You can, for a course adjustment, you can raise the right side of that track bar from like bottom to mid. You can add a click of stagger in the rear. You can add a click of stagger in the front. You can lower the cross weight just a little bit. That's going to make you generally more loose. Sorry about that. So let's take a look. What I want to see is the track or our tire temperatures. 230, 229, 203. 210, 210, 194, 202. Yeah. I mean, overall, it looks pretty damn good. And the tire wear, I mean, look at that. We ran, how many laps did we run right there? If we look, let's go laps. We ran 20 laps and we lost 1% of tire wear. So, again, we're looking great on that. Now, let's do a couple things and just see what it'll do. Overall, if we can lower the car, we want to do that. And not bottom out. Now, there's a big old bump. You know, the other thing is the ride height on the right side on this car is very, very high. So let's try this. Let's lower this down. Okay. So we're going to disconnect that bar and we'll apply this. Alright, disconnecting the bar lets us kind of change these two individual of each other. So right now we got that sitting at 0.16. So let's get it back towards right there, right where we hit that brake. Let's unattach that side. Jack this side back up. This side back down. Leave it at 0 here and let's apply that. Attach that side. Where are we at? Alright, so now we've effectively done that. Now we did that kind of independent of the rear. Now the cross weight now is sitting at 58.5. Just for something, 29 is the fastest, but after about 24 laps, falls off, gets loose. Yeah. Make it tight at the beginning? You don't. That's the thing. You're going to have to give up something, and you give up something on a longer run. That's just the way that it is. You can't make a car perfect throughout the whole run. You're just not going to do it. Everybody's set falls off over time. It's just the way that it is. You just don't want it falling off a cliff. That's the big thing. So we lowered this front end down here. And note that this is now sitting real wonky. Let's put that back to where we had it. Alright, which was around 10 or 7. I think that's where we're at. So let's go back and let's go back out here. Click done. And see how she feels. We got somebody just sitting in our pit box. That's cool. Zim. Now already the car feels different, just characteristically on the front. So this set feels like it's going to be looser already. So it's a little pushy through center almost. See, it won't.
Car stop down
It
low.
just will not turn in the way that we're really kind of wanting to. And again, it's not that much slower. Considering we got to adjust ourselves to how this car feels. You know, we're only about a half a tenth slower, you know, through each end of the track. Yeah, but it makes a difference. But if we nail a corner like we got through 3 and 4, pretty damn good right there. The overall principle of the car remains, you know.
Go car ahead. Go low. Go low.
He's wrecking. We got in that corner way too hot. Tried to pull it down and the car didn't like it and got loose in the center.
Car stop down low. Go high.
So we're not getting a really clean run out of here, to be honest with you. Everybody's wrecking everywhere. This car's starting to get a little bit loose. But what I want to do is, while we've got it in that state, you know, we got to loose a couple centers ago, and that heats up the rear tires. So we need to figure out, okay, is that because we got in too hot, we heated them up, and that's why it's feeling loose, or is it a factor of, you know, the car just being too loose? Overall, it feels pretty good. You know, it feels about the same. It doesn't feel nearly as springy in the front. It feels a lot more rigid, and I know a lot of that doesn't kind of really translate into what you see, but in terms of what the car feels like and the attitude of the car, you can feel it, and it's hard to put into words for you guys. It really is. You really have to get out and feel it. What's up, Bill? But yeah, this setup is much looser. And it makes sense. I mean, we've dropped the front end here a little bit, and we've kind of effectively raised the rear end.
Thank you, Aaron. That really helped.
Yeah, I mean, just make sure you're making those adjustments for like a race set or a qualifying set. You know, that's what you don't want too much of a good thing. You want it to drive good at the start, not perfect. This thing is definitely sliding about the corners. It's controllable. It's not bad. But my concern is the longer we take it into a run, that slide up off the corners is going to show up in the center of the corner when we're trying to turn. And what we don't want is this car loose in the center of the corner. Like right there, those rear tires barely ever stuck. Yeah, this thing is pretty loose. Alright, so it's getting to the point now where it's not wrecking loose, but if we had somebody pushing us, like behind us, Like, we're sliding that rear all the way through the center at this point. And that's just not gonna work. Like, we can hold this for probably another like 10 or 12 laps, but eventually it's gonna give up. Alright, let's try to put in a couple harder laps here, see what it does. That was on me. It was pointed right, and we got into it a little bit too hard, and it tightened back up when I let off. That wasn't the car's fault, that was my fault. Hard to read complex comments like that while driving. Anyway, I think that's probably good for us to know on this thing, but I'll bet you that those rear temperatures are hotter than they were on the other one. I mean, we don't want to play around with the shocks too much in terms of the sim. And again, Scott, if you're racing in real life, there's going to be things that translate and there's going to be things that do not make sense. So 213, not a much hotter. I don't think we ran as many laps as well either. So let's done here. Look at these laps. So we ran from 26 to 46, and then that one ran 48 to 65. So almost the same run, but it was hotter if I remember right. So is there a way for you to get in the league? Daily reminder to run max camber in real life. Hell yeah. So as far as getting in the league, there's a link in the description. You just click the link, apply to the league, and you're in. Simple as that. Of course, we have to review and approve all that stuff. But alright, so what do we want to change about this to try and settle this thing down? The other thing, too, that we need to remember is now that we've got cars on the track, notice this temperature keeps going up. So now we're at 81 degrees. Doesn't make a huge difference. Yeah, oh, absolutely. There's a ton of stuff that's different from here to real life. So what translates here doesn't necessarily always translate out there. Now, one thing that we were doing at Martinsville, and this is a really, really big bank, Martinsville, that really helped is we ran this car almost level, which was a huge difference from what we were normally doing. All right, so I am interested to try it. And so far we don't feel bad. The car still feels fine. Let's note our crossway here, 58.5. All right, and what I want to do is we want to lower this car down quite a bit. So we got 2, 6, 6, 10. So we're at 58.8. So effectively that tightened it up a little bit. You know, with what we've got. Now we also need to look at this preload here. And we're sitting at about 10. You know, and 8 gallons will get us where we need to go. And I think we were running this at USA. I want to say we were running 60 laps in our mains. So I think we'll probably be good with 7 gallons, honestly. But I'm going to leave it at 8. Mainly just because we want to see what this car is driving like. Alright, let's just make sure that all this stuff is still maxed out, which it should be still. The caster, however, is not maxed out. Alright, and that's a whole nother animal that I don't really want to get into right now. So, let's leave it like this. We'll leave our staggers like they are. Right now, our bar and clearance is 0. Okay, it's just on the negative side. That's where we were, and then that's 0. So we've got a little bit of preload in it right now, just a hair. Alright, so let's be done here, and then let's hop in, see what this thing feels like.
Okay, everybody gets a turn to hit me.
I don't know how I missed you, Scott.
I think I got hit 4 times that time back. Dr. Pepper has spilled out onto the track.
Slow car down low. Go high.
These
Sorry
guys.
about that.
Mills. Right, so we got in there high and it kind of dove down and then wanted to kind of jump back up. But that's not really the line that we want to be running, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Alright, again, if you look, we were at 58.5, we're at 58.8 now. The car does feel just a little bit tighter. That'll probably help us out in a longer run.
Go low.
But it does feel tighter. We try taking some wider arcs in here just to see if the setup maybe likes that. No car likes touching the apron though. I'll tell you that. That guy ran very wide. Did he run outside the track? Overall, the car is a little bit tight off, like a little too tight off for my liking. The other setup, keep in mind, we're not making huge changes here, and mainly because Lou's already done most of the hard work. I mean, when he gave us that baseline set, we're tweaking it to see if maybe we can get something else out of it, you know. So you got to bear that in mind too. I mean, we're trying to retouch an already very nice piece of art, you know.
Slow car down low. Go high. Car stop low. Slow car down low. Slow car down low. Go high.
So can we track down Zim in this setup? Not if we hit the apron, we won't.
Slow car up high. Go low.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Car stop low.
We're there, but not in position to pass right now. Take it high here. They're not gonna get back there.
Go high.
Alright, here we go.
Car outside. Stay low. Clear.
That's so funny, let us go.
Go high. Car inside. Still there. Keep high. Car stop down low. They're inside.
Now, the high groove is not where it's at here.
Not safe.
And you can drive this car as sideways as you really feel like it, but it's not any faster, it's just cool.
Slow car down low. Inside. Still there. Hold your line. Clear, clear. Outside. Stay
So
low.
we're gonna have to like creep around this corner, that right rear is so hot.
Hold your line. Clear outside. Car outside. Keep low. Still there. Still there. Clear.
I think we might have run them out of room there.
Sorry about that.
Hey, we are racing tonight, right?
Inside. Keep high. Clear, clear.
That one's pass saving.
Well, you had
Yeah.
those tires greasy, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm just seeing how sideways we could run it. Oh yeah, we're just screwing around right here, Gold.
That
I
was
mean, for
fun.
sure. Yeah, we'll be racing, and basically I wanted to give people a chance to really kind of, why are they doing the pink smoke thing again? I wanted to let people kind of do some adjustments and see what they got and ask any questions and work setups before we jumped over to the race. But I can advance the session, I believe, whenever we're ready. Gooforth. Yeah, don't worry about it, Golden. We got this. We got this. So overall, this set felt fine. I mean, it didn't feel great with that low down, rear tire and everything. And again, these rear tire temperatures aren't going to be super accurate. Not when we were racing Zim. So let's see here. In terms of loosening it up right now, I mean, it's at a 58.8. That's only 0.3% tighter, than where it was. But yeah. So let's see here. Rebound. I'm not worried about that too much. Let's see here. What do we want to do to raise this up? It's gonna make her even tighter. Let's do this. Let's take a little bit of preload out and see how that feels. That's not going to do anything to crossweight, but it might free it up kind of through that center and out. It should be good. Let's get screwing. All right. In terms of results, we're still at the top of the board here. But I like to see that everybody's right here. That is really good to see because the set that we ran, when we ran it, it ran a 950. and everybody's within a tenth of that, and that's really, really good. A couple of people aren't, but that's okay. And Mark knows what he's doing. He runs this track. Or he ran it. Yeah, I think he ran it with us before. John, I think, only ran last week, I believe. But anyway, let's hop back in here and just see what this did as far as kind of freeing up that that rear track bar. An 8 car coming out of the pits, slamming into the wall. I love
Stay
it.
low. Clear outside.
Okay.
Car outside.
After us.
Clear outside.
It's still tighter than I would want it to be, but again, it's not bad. I mean, you look down there, we just ran, what, a 9 with it? Yeah, a 950. So, I mean, we're only a tenth off, so the set's fine like this. Really, the question is, what's it going to do, on a longer run? And it feels fine. I mean, to me, it feels like it's just tight. It's a little tight off, which that'll kind of come around a little bit if you want. As we kind of run that race, but because the rear tires are going to get heated up here and it'll loosen itself up just a little bit. But we want it to roll. We don't want to be slipping tires to get it to turn. We want to be able to have it just mechanically turn.
Wheel car down low.
The fastest way around this track is to really just kind of let this thing kind of pivot up. And on cold tires, I mean, that's not the best way to take it, but yeah, we're not hooked up at all.
Okay, so I got the brake bias all the way up, but it's still starting to slide out a little bit as it's starting to turn around the corner. What's next, track bar?
So what's your brake bias at right now?
I've got it all the way up to 58.
If you're running the normal set and everything and you're just messing with the brake bias, you shouldn't have to have it that high. It'll still be a little bit loose on entry, but try not driving into the corner and hitting on brakes so hard. Let it roll in a little bit easier, and that'll probably take care of that loose a little bit. I think a lot of it is probably the way you're driving in a little bit hard, probably, if I had to guess.
So just back up the corner a little bit, not driving it so hot. I'll try that next.
Yeah, because you can really kind of ride that loose into the center of the corner. I mean, and that's the thing. The car's turning well enough there. You don't want to take too much of it out because it's just going to make the rest of the corner not as happy. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I really tend to see it really when I'm getting it right about to the center of the corner, which is probably still because I'm got too much wheel in it because I'm too hot probably. So I'll try backing it up.
Yeah, and I mean, just evidence, and the only reason I say that, evidence the fact, everybody else who's got that set is running a flat. They're running 21 flat. And I think you're just a hair off of that. Yeah, John's about a tenth off. That and having your split time up as you're running laps will really kind of show you where you're giving up time or where you're gaining it. I don't know if you have that enabled to have that up while you're running laps.
Hit the tab key.
Heck yeah. Tabs for days. We'll probably be on tomorrow. I don't know what we'll be doing, but tomorrow's Small Business Saturday. That's fun. Well, we've already been in here for an hour. We've already been in here practicing for an hour. And that's what I'm saying. these things get out of hand in terms of how you want to chase your setup or do whatever with it. And we could do all kinds of different stuff. I'm only showing you kind of, you know, what we're familiar with. There are guys that are doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They're using crazy cambers or caster splits to turn the car. There's guys that are using super soft right rear spring and just letting the thing just squat on that right rear spring and drive and drag them all around the corner. Uh, People do all kinds of stuff, you know, and again, this is just what's working for us right now, you know, and what the current deal is. But new tire models should be coming out soon, and at that point, everybody will be starting from scratch. And that's the tough part about this stuff. So it's interesting. It is definitely interesting. One thing I wanted to see, if we go to options, let's go to controls here. I don't know if we've got our admin controls in here. I don't think that we do.
25 laps and they got 97 on the right front.
At 25 laps?
Yep.
Dang. That's crazy. We ran 20. It was at 99. They're racing. Alright, so basically we can advance the session right here if we just right click, and we can do that. So it'll be a tight little field here. We got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got 12 guys. 12 guys, it'll be a tight little race. Somebody did. One thing I do want to do, since our setup feels pretty good. You know, if we want to run this one, we can. If we want, we can go back to my set. Here, let's save this as here, night set, test. It's about 80 TT track temperature. So we go back to my setups. Let's take a look at the, let's say night 851. Now let's go back to this and see how this thing drives. That's one thing I wanted to fix. Forgot to fix that when we took it out the first time. The question is, can we get into the 7s or the 8 flats? I think we might be able to, honestly. Take a good lap, but
outside. They're outside.
it's like right there, we kind of blew through the center of the corner and we looked fast getting in, but we lost a ton of time coming back out. And again, putting down flats, you know, a couple laps into the run, that's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, that's a top split style setup. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can change this to a qualifying setup. So in terms of what I do to throw these things to qualifying set, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, first things first, we're going to take all the gas out. Take it down to 2 gallons. Alright. But first, we also need to kind of note something here. Alright, let's apply that, put it back to where it was. So 58.3 is the cross weight. Now note also the nose weight, 51.2. So when you take this down, we're taking fuel out of the rear of the car. It's going to bring the nose weight up. So now we're at 52.1. Alright, now we're at 58.6. Alright. Now what that does is, I mean, the more nose weight you've got, the tighter the car is going to feel. Alright, 51.2, 58.3. 51.2, 58.3, so we're now at 52.1, 58.6. So the car's going to be tighter here. We've raised the nose weight, the cross weight's up. Alright, so what do we need to do? We can do a couple things. In terms of just making this car work for 2 laps, let's put a click a stagger in it, and I bet you we'll still pass inspection. We'll probably still be pretty good. Alright, 58.5, 52.1, whatever, we're fine with that. But let's go done. Let's hop in practice and see what oh, there was one thing that we forgot to do, because I'm a fool. What's up, PJ? Because Aaron's a fool. So we come over here. The most obvious thing, obviously we take this to full tape. So full tape, fuel out. You know, rock and roll here. Why do we have CPU issues? There we go. I was looking at the bar up there in the top. So that one click of stagger in the rear is going to make a hell of a difference here. Yeah, and it's loose. Yeah, it's loose. It's a little loose. A little too loose. A little too loose. A little too loose. Alright, so let's go back to the garage. Now, maybe a click of stagger was a little bit extreme. Yeah, it was just a little bit extreme with this here. So, why don't we do this? Instead of doing that, let's just give ourselves a click over here, 58.2. And that'll kind of even us out here, 58.3. Alright. Now the other thing that plays into this setup, and maybe it's not a great qualifying setup, is going to be the fact that we have that left front at 16 pounds versus the 18 pounds that Luke keeps it at. That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. 824. Alright. Honestly, we got through there pretty good on both of those laps. We got through there pretty good. I was hoping that we were going to break 7 there, but not
Sorry
to
about
be.
that.
Not to be. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 cars in here right now. Gabe's out, Mark's out, Jerry's out. Alright, boys, how much more practice do you want to do? Let me know when you want to potentially run it over to the race session here.
I'm as good as I'm going to be.
As good as
I'm ready.
For those who are about to die.
Same here. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it for now.
I think Oliver, did you just hop in?
10-4.
Alright, you want to take a couple minutes, get your stuff sorted out. There's a shared setup in there if you want to use that. Looked like racing on ice, yeah, for sure. Man, ugh. I swear, I gotta get like a new headset for what's back here. Just killing me. All right. Trying to think of what we do on this thing. Let's go to the garage. Let's go to the other one that we had. Let's go to my setups. No, we're not going to save anything with that because they were just minor little changes that we made. Let's go to this one. And let's do the qualifying adjustments that we made to it. And we're going to have to play around with this one a little bit because the front is so close to failing. Yeah. So full tape, down. Can we get this out by screwing around with this? No. Oh, it's so close. So we could do it that way. 59 is where that one's at. We've only made it tighter. Yeah. Alright. So let's see here. Take that one corner up just a little bit. So 58.9. Let's go out and see what this thing feels like. With a little extra stagger in it, with everything taped off, and I think we got the 2-gallon deal in it. Yeah.
Roll car down low. Car stop down low. Go high.
So I'm trying to actually run a qualifying lap, and I just threw some stagger, tape, and less fuel. That's all I've done. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, lower fuel, 100% tape, and then loosen it up a little bit. However you choose to do it.
Isn't that second set you put in, number 2, that's not a qualifying set?
It is. I mean, it is. I mean, it has it's basically just taped off and no fuel. I mean, that's basically all that one's been done. But yeah, don't race that one. You'll pop about 5 laps in. Let's go back. I want another shot at this one. Because this car never got set getting into the corner. I think we drove it in a little bit harder than we needed to. But it might just be that click of stagger is just too much, you know?
Wow. What a disaster.
We clipped the apron right there.
Go high.
That would have been pretty good. That would have been pretty good if we didn't clip that apron. Would have been another 8. But really, it's just kind of tight through center. Oof. Yeah, it was a 913. Which, I mean, not bad. You know, I mean, she's an embarrassment of riches. Yeah, ouch. No, we don't want to save this one. Just go back to my setups. No. I think we kind of got what we got, really. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. I mean, again, we worked a lot on that USA set, this one right here, in terms of what felt good and everything. It still feels the best to me. Still feels the best to me, honestly. So, anyway, let's talk to these guys to see if they're ready to go. All right, boys, you ready to roll?
10-4.
Alright, how about you, Oliver? You ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
You're middle of the charts. You good enough?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did Mark ever make it?
No, he didn't. He ended up having to work, which is a bummer. But that's the time of the year that it is for him. All right, boys. Qualifying time. Qualifying time. All right, so what do we do again? We did, obviously, full tape. 2 gallons. Applied it. Applied it, supplied it, denied it, deep fried it. And I think we just bumped that up 1 click. Yeah, and that down 1 click, that's what we did. It felt pretty good, honestly. But let's see. So we got Oliver, Steve, Austin, Jerry, us, Zim. Look at these boys putting down 8s. Jerks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We got 13 guys. Not bad for totally impromptu. Oh shit, what are we going to do? So let's go ahead and get out here and qualify. Again, I wish we had 60-degree temperature so we could run that time. 20.4. Bad fast. Another little trick, by the way. Turn off auto clutch. All these NASCAR cars have dog boxes in them and stuff, Jericho's. You don't need a clutch at all to shift them.
Here comes your first time lap.
Ooh, we got real out of shape getting into that corner right there. But we got out of it okay. It's going to be pretty quick.
One more lap.
Come on, dig, 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 dig. .766. We did it. And we don't even have to worry about this corner. Because I'm telling you right now, if that doesn't take the pole, I don't know what will.
Second flag.
Yeah.
Just messed up 3 and 4 on both my laps. Just cut the apron on 4, messed that up, and then got completely tight between 3 and 4 and just did not turn. So that was great.
Our results, come on. There we go. All right, so right now we're sitting on pole. We got a minute or so to wait here. Zimmy second, Steve. Wow, they tied. Unbelievable. Okay. Mills, then John, then Austin. Let's see, Oliver, Craig, Yost. Come on, man. What are you doing? You're letting me down over here. I don't know what Gabriel's doing. See, the rift is kind of weird. So who gets the tiebreaker? That's a really good question. I believe this goes to 2 more digits that you don't see. I believe that's how it works. If not, I mean, maybe they judge it off the practice time. Who knows? I don't. So sorry for all that noise too, by the way. I'm just Trying to itch my face through the rift. It's not going well. This will be fun. This will be fun. And it's a good test session. I mean, honestly, with how much we raced at USA, you know, over the past month or so. I mean,
I can't wait to have done an hour of practice just to randomly blow up on like lap 15 again.
Speaking of which, we need to change our setup back. So let's go to my setups. No.
Yeah, that qualifying time is not indicative at all of my skill level, so I'd like an EOL at the start of the race, please.
All right, bear with me 1 second here, boys. Hold on.
Also, remember to take your qualifying setup off.
I know this isn't going to matter once we're actually racing. I'm going to be so concentrated on other stuff. But, all right, so we got all this. 50% tape. Got 8 gallons. I think we're good to go, really. Yeah, I think we're good. A couple guys in the back there. I don't know if they jumped out or what.
Yeah, good luck,
Line up
everyone.
on the inside. Pit road is closed.
Alright, who was wanting an EOL?
That would be the 85th car, please.
Alright, first race with the group. Let's hope I don't take everyone out on the first lap.
Thank you, Aaron, for this race.
Yeah, no sweat, guys. I appreciate you guys coming, and honestly, you guys will probably be as prepared as you're gonna be for next week and everything. And before you jump out, all right, I will share the set that I have in this car. And the only thing I did to it to qualify was loosen it up just a touch and take all the fuel out, add full tape. That was it.
Now, are we doing cautions like the league races as well?
Yeah, everything's still on. It's going to run like a normal race. So, I mean, double file restarts, lucky dogs, you know, cautions are on. So, with this few drivers, we shouldn't have too many issues.
One lap.
Good thing I have 255 fast repairs.
Yes. Unlimited. All right, we'll be
So you turn off your tires, right?
saying we will be going on the green here, boys.
Get ready. Going green.
Tiebreaker goes.
Pace car is in.
I believe it's right as we jump up on the straightaway here. It goes green.
Green, green, green.
So we want to try and take it easy here a little bit while we can. In terms of race pace, we'll see where our lap times are at. My guess is they're going to be like 21 ones. Oh, I ran a 90 that time. Really, we just want to be right around that 21 flat time. The track's a little cooler, so it will be a little bit quicker. Because in practice, I don't know if you guys saw, but I mean, it was up to, I think it was up to 82 at one point.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Line up single file. Pit road is closed. Catch the pick car.
We got problems.
Catch the pipe car.
Problems, Wendy. Catch the pace car, guys. Then we're gonna do the same deal. All right, so no tires, no fuel. If you want to go down, you can
Pit
take
road is now
adjustments if you
open.
want. Just make sure you turn those things off, which we need to do as well.
So what would changing the right rear spring offset do?
Making it bigger would loosen you up, and making it lower would tighten you up. Basically, it changes the cross weight in the car. It's like changing the right rear ride height. We didn't make it too far. Is everybody still on the lead lap here? Oh, Oliver died. Oliver, did you have to tow out?
I think he left.
Did he quit?
Yeah, it said he disconnected.
What the hell? Well,
Pit road is
dang.
closed.
Was he in that wreck?
Looked like it was Spencer.
Too slow. Actually, no. No, Spike is. Yeah, Spike is Spencer. There we go. It's rigged. Excuse me. Him and me. Ah, okay, got it.
One lap to green. Line up on the inside. Let the ice car by.
Y'all remember when Earnhardt would bump the pace car?
Yes, we remembered when Scott existed as well.
Do it. Do it.
Get ready. Going green.
And the restarts now are on my go.
Pace car is in. Green flag. Green flag. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Line up single file. Pit road is closed.
I see carnage
Catch
back
the
there.
ice car. Catch the ice car.
Carnage, carnage.
Pit road is now open.
Shoot, I haven't passed no cars. I already gained 3 positions.
There you go. That's all you gotta do. Just keep the thing straight. I'm telling you. Say, keep it pointed straight. You'll be in the top 5 in no time.
Sorry about squeezing you up in the wall there, Jeff. Got a little loose on the inside.
And if you guys do take damage, I mean, there's unlimited quick repairs. So, I mean, you can, if you turn off your fuel and your tires, you can just run down pit road and they'll just fix it up for you.
I'm gonna tell you, Aaron, this late model racing looks so much easier in your streams.
Yeah, I agree.
Practice, practice. There's a reason why the first couple weeks of the late model, with guys that weren't used to running it, the first couple weeks was just caution after caution after caution. This car can get away from you really quick, especially here the way it's set up, or the setup that we had anyway.
Oh no, I've got Joey Logano behind me.
Oh man!
Hey, as long as it's not Joey Chitwood, you're okay.
No one knows who Joey Chitwood is.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Jeff. I was watching the stream last night, but
I know, that guy did not like Jeff at all. And honestly, it was really not Jeff's fault. I mean, it was just incidental contact that just sent him around. But, I mean, the most telling thing about that was he came out of that whole deal like 6th. And that is exactly where he finished, taking no damage. So, I mean, his car was going backwards anyway.
1 lap to green. Line up on the inside.
exactly.
So actually, I called it on the stream about 2 laps before it happened. I said, he's getting loose. I said, Jeff's going to get by him.
This thing doesn't need clutch, right?
No, that's one of the tips I was saying. Turn off auto clutch. For all the NASCAR stuff, you don't need it. You can just crack the gas and shift.
Get ready. Going green.
Them
The one thing that I didn't turn it off on.
Yeah, the Jerichos. Jericho
Pace cars
transmissions.
in. Green's out. Green flag. Green flag.
See if we can get a couple laps in this time. The one thing that you can't ever really factor in is what your car is going to do on a heat cycle on tires. You know, what it's going to do to it, if it's going to really mess up you up. Oh, Zim is in the wall.
Pass me low.
How bad is Zim's car hurt? He's got Mills right behind him. He's ready to dump him at a moment's notice. We're talking about that we ran a late model race at the Bull Ring last night, and Jeff was running in second behind the guy who took the pole, and they just got into the corner at different speeds, and Jeff was looking, and the guy got down in front of him.
Yellow flag
But Jeff
is out.
was there,
Line up,
and he was on the brakes, and he
Pit road
turned.
closed. Catch
And the
tight
guy
car.
was salty
Holy cow.
about it. Super salty.
Yeah, that got a little intense back there for a while.
Hey, you're missing on the front and back. Come on.
Yost is in the pits.
Pit road is now open.
Yost, you have to tow out?
Yeah, I just got out of everybody's way.
Uh-oh.
Right rear spring offset. Increase loosens, correct?
The bigger you make that offset, the more you're gonna jack up the right rear, which will loosen it up. That's gonna be all around looser.
Yeah, I just went that left and I couldn't keep it straight at all.
Problems around the 5th spot.
Charge complete.
Good, now I can get this wire off of my freaking arm. Bullring guy, yeah. I love that he was like, Joey Logano, that was a shit move, Jeff. What I didn't notice at the moment when it happened was, it was one Jeff calling the other Jeff. Piece of shit. Geoff calling Jeff. Yeah, my second wife on the headset. Charging battery.
Pit road is closed.
She ain't got nothing on my real one. Alright. If we get another caution, Yost, we'll wave you by the pace car and get you back in the lead lap.
So weak.
So when's the next race? Next Friday?
Yeah, I guess we'll do it Friday then. Yeah, I guess.
One lap till we go green. Line up on the inside.
Sorry, I bumped you on the last restart there, Scott.
So I think Yost is going to be
It's all good.
3 laps down.
Get ready. Going green.
So we got on the chip. We kind of messed up our shift.
Pace car is in. Green's out. Green flag. Green flag.
We'll see how far we can gap this field here. See, here's the thing. I think Zim's got actually a pretty good setup in that car. I know he does. So he runs pretty good here. I think Zim's set might be a little bit quicker on a shorter run than we are, but I think we're good at probably about 15 laps. Problem is we're not getting 15 lap runs here.
Okay, we're halfway to the finish.
Halfway home. Zim's right here with us. He ain't going away. Messed that corner up a little bit. A little bit high, a little bit loose. So honestly, our car's getting actually pretty loose. Getting up off of these corners here. Watch, poor Yost. After all those cautions and stuff, I'm like, yeah, Yost, if we get another caution, we'll get you back in the lead lap. After all that, he just doesn't. They have reeled us in. 0.3 is nothing. They are there.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Line up single file. Pit road is closed. Catch the 2 car. Catch the 6
Sorry,
car.
Spencer, try to be a little lower.
Catch the 2 car. Catch the tight car. Catch the 6 car. Catch the 8 car. Catch the tight car.
All those guys caught up.
Aaron, I can hang with you, I think, for about 15 to 20 laps, but I just don't think I could, I don't know what my set would do after about 20 laps. Once these tires get hot.
And do a wave around for the 2 car?
Yeah, it's gonna give him one automatically, but yeah.
Car. 2. Let him by. Car outside.
Come on by,
Left
Scott.
side 2. Car by.
I like that Dr. Pepper.
That should be 2. See where that gets you. Everybody just keep it low because he's gonna be coming around for a couple.
Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, 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 bada ding, bada ding, bada ding.
I know, right? Yost, he's flying on the high side.
That's a rodeo of...
Catch the tight
I want to
car.
see what this right rear spring adjustment does. Because my car was just too tight on exit. That thing was just not turning.
Yeah, just make sure you got your stuff turned off. I don't want you to go all that down. Takes forever to put fuel in these cars. Yeah, here he comes. Because he should get his own lucky dog. We waved him by twice, so that should
Doing
put him
single
on the
file
lead
or
lap.
still double restart?
Oh, we're sticking double file.
Pit
I
road is
trust you
closed.
guys.
Famous last words.
Yeah, summer finally does.
Yeah, right. In here, and his head on into the outside wall. I know it's bad, but I like contemplating giving myself an EOL here. It's no fun to like stink up your own show where it's like, yep, there's Aaron, hosted his own race, you let it flag to flag. Yeah. Good job.
E-O-L. E-O-L.
1 lap to green.
I
Line up on
know,
the
I was just
inside.
talking to the stream, I'm like, I almost want to give myself an EOL here, but it's kind of shitty to run flag to flag, take the pole, and win this race.
I want to see how long I can block you.
Yeah, right. Well, our car has not been the happiest on restarts
Get ready.
here, so.
Going green. Pace car is in. Green's out.
Kind of
Green
give him a
flag,
rolling
green flag.
start here. Ah! Trying to die in the mirror there. There's a big old stack up at third. Looking in the mirror up there. I probably ought to be looking out the windshield. We got 10 to go
What
here.
a god.
It's in this round.
I tried into the wall.
See, it's getting loose on that entry center right there, like it has been. Kind of what we've been fighting this whole setup session. Trying to get it to turn through that center and not be wrecking loose on entry.
I'm just unstoppable.
Austin making moves back there, I guess. This thing is getting loose on entry. I just hope we're not turning into a pumpkin. Say, don't look now. That old Jeff Logano back there, creeping up on Zim. Creeping. Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
5 laps to go.
That was a 0x, it did count. We hit it. Say, Zim is just caressing that wall off of 4 every time. Oh, Jerry's out. He's in the pits. What happened? Alright, well Zim's starting to leg it out on Jeff here now. There's 2 to go. Whoa. He didn't like getting into that one. Whoa. It is being weird right now. I don't know what it is. Oh, jeez.
1 more lap to win.
Our car is falling to pieces here in the last 3 laps. There he is.
Good win, Aaron.
I know, what happened?
Great job, driver. Good job.
Nice win, Aaron. Thanks, Steven, for not getting into the back of me. I was kind of slow there in a few corners.
Yeah, no
fun.
problem. I don't want to make any enemies on first race. Sorry about that, Austin. The car just got away from me, so that'll be on me.
Hey, Spencer, sorry about getting in the back of you there.
There were problems. There were
I
problems
want
at
a
the end
picture,
there.
Aaron. I made the podium.
The race is over.
Yeah, right. Craig makes the podium. Now, how do you do a burnout? Dial that brake pressure all the way forward.
Count alert!
See if we can slide around this corner. Yeah, I'm easy. That's the best. Come on. real question is there anybody still left on the track here? I doubt it very much. But anyway, that was a lot of fun. And I hope you guys learned something as far as, you know, what I'm doing setting up a car, kind of what I like, and, you know, what works for me. Everybody's different. The best thing I can tell you is to go out and try different things. So if anybody's still in here, I'll go ahead and I'll share the setup that I was running there. So you can set up and just try different things. I mean, that's the best thing I can tell you. Rather than running a race, get in, just run a session for an hour, and just try a couple different things. That's all you can do, you know, to try and figure out what works for you. You know, everybody on the Discord is very willing to help, sharing setups and all that stuff. It's a really good resource. I encourage everybody to get on there. You know, and obviously, you know, subscribing to the videos and the channel, we run a lot of this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, if you like it, stick around. All right, setup shared, everybody. Got fireworks? I think they're like directly behind me. Yeah, looks like everybody's still in here. No, a couple people jumped out, but you know, what can you do? But what I want to see is I want to see what happened with Zim with 2 to go here. I also want to see what happened with Jerry. He's running hard with Yost. Yost gives him a lane.
So do I have to change the name when I select it, Aaron?
You mean like if you save it and use it? No, you don't have to change anything. It just has my name attached to it because I shared it. That's all.
No, like, okay, I go to Garage and I select like the first one and click open, and then I go back to Garage and it's not there.
Yeah, so if you click it from Save Setups, and then it should open up, and then there should be a button on the right there that's Save As. Hit Save As, and then just save it. So, well, that's a bummer. The 8 just kind of lost it there.
Understood.
So Zim.
Hey Aaron, check your tire temps and wear on the front. Always sign out.
So it's not going to be accurate because it's been a little bit that, and I was doing burnouts and stuff. I mean, my tire wear is 97 on the right front, 96 on the right rear. Can't transmit in the garage, that's true. Yeah. That's a bummer. But our car was going to hell there the last couple laps.
Does G
there.
stand for grid?
You mean in the results there? Yeah, G is grid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Well, anyways, that'll do it for us, guys. I hope you all learned a little something. We'll get back to running our typical thing here, you know, in the next couple weeks. You know, I'm excited to get this championship and everything taken care of.
All
More
right.
than
Well,
likely
thanks a lot,
Jeff's got
Aaron.
it,
Thanks, everyone.
but
Have a good rest of your holiday weekend.
man, we almost made it through this whole race without that beep. All everybody's moving. They're all just like, hey, what's up? Just moving around. So, anyways, I appreciate all y'all watching, as always. All right, and until the next time, guys, take care.